You know, when we think about fighter jets, we usually picture these sleek, powerful machines. We think about their speed, their agility, and of course, the missiles they carry. But today, we're going to talk about China's J-10C, a jet whose greatest weapon might not even be on the plane at all. It's something much, much bigger. And that one question, man, it just flips the whole script on modern air combat. It forces us to look past the individual jet and see this much bigger battlefield. A whole new way of fighting called
System of Systems Warfare. And this is the key concept here. It's not about one jet versus another jet anymore. It's about one entire network fighting another network. Just imagine it. Individual pieces, the jets, satellites, guys on the ground, all linked up, working together like a single, incredibly smart organism.
Okay, so this isn't just a minor tweak. We're talking about a fundamental change, a whole new rulebook for how you fight a war. It's moving away from thinking about standalone planes to these totally integrated battle spaces.
And don't just take my word for it. Military expert Zhang Jianxie nailed it when he talked about the J-10's evolution from a standalone platform to an integrated part of routine joint operations. See? It's not just a jet anymore. It's a node, a critical piece in this huge grid. So let's actually meet the plane at the heart of this story.
All right, so let's get to know the star of our show, the J-10C. What exactly is this jet, and what makes it the perfect poster child for this new strategy?
So what are we looking at? The J-10C first popped up around 2018. It's what we'd call a 4.5 generation fighter. That means it's loaded with modern electronics, but it's not a true stealth fighter like a 5th-gen jet. Really, it was designed to be a smaller, cheaper, easier to maintain workhorse that flies alongside China's bigger, badder jets. And this chart, it really lays it all out, right? On one side, you've got China's heavy hitters, the J-16 and the J-20. Those are twin-engine monsters built for total air dominance. But the J-10C, it's a single-engine, lightweight fighter, and that means it has a much smaller radar. Now, on its own, a smaller radar is a huge disadvantage. But this is exactly where the network strategy comes in to save the day.
And that limitation, that's where we get to the core of this whole thing. The idea that the network itself becomes the weapon, making up for what any single plane lacks.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is just simple physics, right? The J-10C has a smaller body, which means a smaller nose cone, which means you can only fit a smaller radar dish inside. And a smaller radar means less power, and you can't see as far. So how do you get around a problem that's literally built into the jet?
Well, you give it a massive pair of eyes somewhere else. And that's where the KJ-500 comes in. This is an airborne early warning and control aircraft, an AEWC. The easiest way to think about it is as a giant flying command center with a monster radar on top that can see everything for hundreds of kilometers around.
Okay, so check this out. Here's how this deadly little dance works. Step 1, the KJ-500 is flying way up high, and it spots a bad guy way off in the distance. Step 2, it instantly zaps all that target data, position, speed, everything, down to a J-10C. Step 3, the J-10C streaks towards the target, but, and this is the genius part, with its own radar turned off. It's flying electronically silent, so it's basically invisible to the enemy's sensors. And then finally, at the very last second, it flips on its radar, gets a lock, and fires. It's the perfect tag team. The KJ-500's incredible vision with the J-10C's speed and agility.
And it's not just a sky-high network either. This thing plugs into the ground too. J-10Cs are constantly talking with ground-based air defense systems. Radars on the ground can help guide them to sneaky low-flying targets the KJ-500 might miss. And it's a two-way street. The J-10C can send its own targeting info back down to missile batteries on the ground.
So, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds cool in theory, but does it actually work? Well, hold on, because one now famous exercise put this whole idea to the ultimate test.
Okay, get this. According to Chinese state media, during a training exercise, a J-10 pilot scored a simulated kill on a J-20. That's China's best, most advanced stealth fighter. I mean, on paper, that should be impossible. A 4th-gen jet taking down a 5th-gen stealth fighter? That's just not supposed to happen.
So here's how it supposedly went down. The J-10C pilot got in position and fired a simulated missile. But the J-20 is so stealthy, so hard to see, that the pilot's own radar immediately lost the track. The missile was basically flying blind.
Right then, in that make-or-break moment, the pilot called for help.
And way up above, the KJ-500, with its giant radar, could still see the J-20 perfectly. It piped the updated coordinates down, guiding that blind missile all the way to a simulated hit. That, right there, was the System of Systems playbook, executed perfectly.
But as incredible as that story is, we've got to pump the brakes for a second and look at this with a healthy dose of reality.
And that brings us to the million-dollar question that everyone started asking. Was this fight for real, or was the whole exercise kind of rigged for the J-10C to win?
Well, there are a few pretty good reasons to be skeptical here. First off, that KJ-500, it's the powerful eyes of the network for sure, but it's also a big, slow, clumsy target. In a real war, a stealth fighter like the J-20 would almost certainly go after the KJ-500 first, and taking it out would blind the entire network. So it's possible the exercise was scripted, to limit what the J-20 was allowed to do. And there could be another motive. A story like this makes the J-10C look amazing, which is great if you're trying to sell it to other countries.
Okay, so let's put that one exercise on the shelf for a minute and zoom out. What does this whole J-10C philosophy tell us about the bigger picture of air power strategy?
This table does a great job of showing China's two-lane highway approach to air power. In one lane, you've got the heavyweights, the J-16 and J-20, big, long-range planes with huge sensors. They don't need the network quite as much. But the J-10C is in a totally different lane. It's a philosophy that's actually way closer to Western fighters like the F-16. These are smaller, shorter-range jets that are designed from the ground up to lean heavily on a support network of tankers and command planes like the KJ-500.
And that, right there, is the big takeaway. The J-10C proves that China isn't just building bigger and beefier jets. It's also getting really, really good at the Western-style playbook, creating a powerful force by networking lots of smaller, cheaper, specialized planes together.
So at the end of the day, if you're just looking at the J-10C's individual specs, you're totally missing the point. Its real power isn't measured by its engine size or its radar range, but by the strength and smarts of the entire system that it plugs into. And all of this leaves us with a huge question for the future of air combat. As technology keeps pushing forward, what's going to matter more? Having the single best jet in the sky or having the absolute best network? Is it the lone wolf or is it the perfectly coordinated pack?